Test, test, test. Are my bars high enough? I can't see because the sun is blinding.
As soon as you start talking like a normal human, then we'll be good.
I am talking. Listen.
Come on, cut it out.
Dude.
See, there we go.
This is why I don't like having this in my ear, because I muffle or I get quieter because it's in one ear and it's not in the other ear. When I can actually understand.
Would you say it
how
goes
loud I am.
in one ear and out the other?
Sure.
All right, Jesus Christ. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, we're on episode 34.
Episode 34, and this is a doozy. We've had a lot of requests to do all different kinds of whiskeys from the beginning, and we were stubborn and said, listen.
Locals only.
Let's focus on locals. That was our treehouse motto, locals only. And then the Rona struck, and we started to basically pull from our stock and say, all right, what can we review and use as content? And good old JMO is on deck.
A fan favorite.
I'm stoked for this episode.
When was the last time you've actually sat down and drank Jameson?
Pretty recent.
Oh my God. Yesterday, Derek. Because this is at my house. You still have a bottle of it at yours?
No.
No?
Bottles of this in my house do not stay long. It's gone.
It's going to be interesting to see where you rate this in regards to our other ratings.
Right.
Because I feel like you're going to be very high and I feel like I'm going to be pretty low. I don't know. I haven't had Jameson in a very long time. So we'll see.
I've had Jameson neat like twice in my life.
Are you going to feel insulted if I give it a low rating?
No.
Like, dude, this is my heritage, bro.
We are going to be very brutally honest when it comes to all rating of whiskeys.
Nailed it.
So this is it, man. Jameson on deck. We should probably dive into the background and history because we have to go way back.
Way back.
Way back. Are you ready?
Go for it. 2 hours later.
So John Jameson, who was born in 1740, passed in 1823, was originally a lawyer from Alloa in Scotland. We're already going to get sued because I mispronounced it. Before he founded his distillery in Dublin in 1780. He previous to founding the distillery, he married Margaret Hagg. She was the eldest daughter of John Hagg, who is the famous whiskey distiller in Scotland. They had 16 kids, bro.
What?
They had 8 boys and 8 daughters.
Wow.
So John Jameson joined the Dublin Freemasons on 24 June 1774, because why not? In 1780, Irish whiskey distillation began at Bow Street. In 1805, he was joined by his son, John Jameson II, who took over the family business that year, and the next 41 years, he built up the business before handing it over to his son, John Jameson III, in 1851.
What was his son's name?
In 1901, the company was formally incorporated as John Jameson and Son Ltd. 4 of John Jameson's sons followed in his footsteps and distilled in Ireland.
I heard one of their biggest competitors was Jingleheimer Schmidt, too.
So by the turn of the 19th century, it was the second largest producer in Ireland and one of the largest in the world, producing 1 million gallons a year. No
Wow.
big deal. Dublin at the time was the center of world whiskey production. It was second most popular spirit in the world after rum, and internationally, Jameson had, by 1805, became the world's #1 whiskey. Today, it is the 3rd largest single distillery whiskey. There's 2 key events that have to be discussed when you talk about Jameson and their impact. So, the Irish War of Independence and the subsequent trade war with the Brits denied Jameson the export markets of the Commonwealth, and shortly thereafter, the intro of Prohibition in the United States. While Scottish brands could easily slip across the Canada-US border, Jameson was excluded from its biggest market for many years. The introduction of column stills by the Scottish blenders in the mid-19th century enabled increased production that the Irish were still making the labor-intensive single-pot still whiskey could not compete with. So naturally, the Irish were like, we're going to do it the old-school, harder way, and
Right.
the people in Scotland are going to use the higher-tech, more productive way.
Sounds about right.
There was a legal inquiry somewhere in 1908 to deal with the trade definition of whiskey. The Scottish producers won within some jurisdictions, and blends became recognized in the law of that jurisdiction as whiskey. The Irish in general, and Jameson in particular, continued with the traditional pot still production process for many years. This is where it gets pretty interesting. In 1966, John Jameson merged with Cork Distillers and John Powers to form the Irish Distillers Group. In 1976, the Dublin whiskey distilleries at Jameson and Bow Street and in John's Lane were closed following the opening of a new Middleton distillery by Irish distillers outside Cork. The Middleton distillery now produces much of the Irish whiskey sold in Ireland under the Jameson, Middleton, Powers, Redbreast, Spot, and Paddy labels. The new facility adjoins the old Middleton distillery, the original home of the Paddy label, which is now home to the Jameson Experience Visitor Center and the Irish Whiskey Academy. The Jameson brand was acquired by the French drinks conglomerate Pernod Ricard in 1988 when it bought Irish Distillers. The old Jameson distillery in Bow Street near Smithfield in Dublin now serves as a museum which offers tours and tastings. Fun fact, in 2008, The Local, which is an Irish pub in Minneapolis, sold 671 cases of Jameson. 22 bottles a day, bro.
Wow.
Making it the largest server of Jameson in the world, a title it maintained for 4 consecutive years.
Jesus.
So, lots to go over, but that's thanks to the interwebs and Wikipedias.
So all this is false, what you just read.
100%. But yeah, so that's the great history of Jameson whiskey and loved by many.
So is it still a family distillery today?
From
by
what I
John
saw,
Jameson, the 47th, I'm assuming, at this time.
I don't know. I'm assuming, but I don't know where the family sits. Yeah. But the brand was bought by the French.
Damn French.
I know.
So this is 40 proof or 40% alcohol, 80 proof.
Yeah.
So it's not going to destroy you, but I'm excited to see how this compares to what we've had already.
I'm very curious to see how this tastes neat compared to everything else.
Yeah, what do people normally have this with? I mean, we have our cocktail section later on, but like Jameson and ginger, is that like a common one?
Yeah.
I got this little piece of hair right here, quarantine hair going on. I got this little piece of hair that keeps falling down, so I'm just going to keep trying to play it up. You got an illegal haircut, so...
I did not get an illegal haircut. Listen, I'm following the Constitution, therefore I'm allowed. Anyways, yeah,
yeah, Jameson and ginger is like the
Jameson
the
and ginger,
drink, right?
yeah, or Jameson and Coke, but a lot of people that I know just drink it straight.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because you don't associate it with a cocktail or a neat drink. It's both.
Yeah,
there's a lot of whiskeys that you associate more with a neat or a cocktail. It's never both, but this one is both.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would ever drink like Jack Daniel's straight. That's a cocktail whiskey for me.
For you.
Yeah.
There's a massive group of people.
Oh yeah, I know.
That drink it straight. Yeah. Like absolute barbarians. More power to you because that's going down into... You can also
throw it in my car and it'll power it for 400 miles.
Exactly. Going down the gullet, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
So this is it. I'm stoked for this episode, dude. I can't wait for the first beep.
This has been the longest that we've ever waited.
I know.
Without a beep.
The anticipation's growing.
I know. You're salivating right now. You're drooling out of the corner.
Bro, well, it's because it's so freaking bright in here. Like, good Lord. We got these lights because we realized that the megapixels of our recorders needed additional lighting power sources. Mm-hmm. So
rock on, man.
Rock and roll. So here we go. We brought the sun for this week's episode. Hopefully the viewing pleasure increases. If not, the hell with you. We're doing it anyways. So,
but it's nice because these things can be packed down into a very small size, so we can take them on all the interviews that we do, which we'll get to soon because we're almost there.
Middle of June.
We're literally nearing the end.
I'm thinking middle of June
is when we'll be able to start doing interviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we reopen tomorrow, bro.
We do reopen tomorrow. Phase 1. Which, should we talk about the very interesting metrics shift over the weekend?
Yes,
that
please do.
Miraculously made us go from 4 out of 7 to 7 out of 7.
Yeah. You touch on that, and then I'll touch on exactly what it means to be in each phase, like what each phase is. That way people don't have to go to newyorkstate.gov and read it. They can hear it from our podcast. So go about the metric changes, then I'll talk about what the actual phases are.
Sick.
Nailed
So it was
structure.
Yeah. Yeah. However, there was no research done on my end to figure out what the metric changes were because this is
Perfect.
on the cuff. So, anyways,
Cuff.
what? First Mikeism. What is it? On the cusp?
Off the cuff.
Yeah, nailed it.
Oh my God, you're a riot. All
So,
right,
anyways, you know who was also a riot? Chris Farley. Look into him.
all right, that's enough.
So we had to meet a rolling average of hospital declines for like 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden we miraculously hit the hospital declines because they changed the verbiage in the metric because they like took out nursing home numbers apparently. And then we didn't meet the tracing numbers because you had to have, I think it was like mid 5 to high 500 for tracers, and we were at mid to low 400s at the beginning of the weekend, and then all of a sudden today we exceed the metric for tracers. And then after the press briefing today, an article was posted by the news that stated that all county workers and then first responders had to take a state mandated 4-hour course and then basically fill out a form for tracing, and that's how we met the metrics.
Really?
Yeah. So we really, I mean,
Shouldn't be reopening
Right,
based off of the
like-
standards that were previously set.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to jump 3 metrics in 2 days, but here we are. Dude, there's a huge part of me that thinks they know that they can't stay closed for that much longer.
Do you think it has something to do with the lawsuit? Because for people who aren't familiar, a Amherst lawyer filed a lawsuit against Cuomo, basically saying that he's abusing his powers. He can't continue to do this. And now miraculously today, oh, look at everyone's free. Go for it.
And he also briefed it in Roswell in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very fishy. So I think that the multiple lawsuits that are against the governor, one of which is from the NRA because he closed pretty much like every gun store in the state, the lawyer from Amherst, and then there was a couple other lawsuits that came down from other people. I want to say there were 7 total lawsuits against Cuomo because of the response, and the state deficits across the board from county to county, and then the overall state. I mean, we spent $9 billion on unemployment thus far. It's at some point just not. I mean, regardless of if it's right or wrong, it's just the system that we have in place as an economy and as a country. You can't stay closed for that long,
Right?
Because money drives money. So if there's no money going in, there's no money moving around or out. Like, you have to fund things. So here we are, phase 1 tomorrow.
It's crazy. So phase 1, for everybody that isn't aware, I must have replaced the battery because it still hasn't gone off yet. I must have subconsciously done it while I was sleeping. But anyway, so phase 1 for New York, which is now Western New York as of tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday 19th. See, we can use our phones because we got camcorders. Anyway, phase 1. So that includes construction, agricultural, forestry, fishing and hunting, retail limited to curbside pickup or in-store pickup for drop-off only, manufacturing and wholesale trade. So those are the businesses that are able to reopen as of phase 1, which starts tomorrow, Tuesday, May 19th. There we go.
There's
Look
the
at that,
first
right
beat.
on cue. As soon as I was done talking.
Oh, man.
Cheers, man. Very gentle.
All I have to say is my palate has changed, fine sir. The first time I had Jameson neat, I felt like I was drinking straight ethanol and I was ready to just start on fire. And I drink it now and I could chug this bottle.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to whiskeys.
It feels, we'll talk about this later, but it feels like I put too many water drops in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so phase 2.
Well, hold on. Within phase 1, if you scroll down on the state's website, it goes into detail, those broad bullet points of like what actually fits those things. So
Yeah, there's a lot in here, though, so I'm not going to read it all. If you want to go to
correct.
newyorkstate.gov,
it's newyork.gov, and then
Newyork.gov,
you
yeah.
click reopening, and then the phases are outlined. But even within retail, It gives you examples of what types of retails are open. It won't list specific stores.
Yeah,
but from
clothing stores, direct selling establishment, electronics and appliance stores, florists, general merchandise, health and personal care, jewelry, luggage, and leather goods, used merchandise stores, shoe stores, other miscellaneous stores. So they sporting goods, hobby, musical instruments. So
that's the last bullet,
yeah.
correct? Sporting goods?
Second last, yeah.
Second last. So that means, in my opinion, Cabela's. Let's go, bro.
Yeah.
I have so many club points. Yes, dude. Buying all the things.
Yeah, so those are furniture and home furnishing stores because I could really use a couch right now, I guess. Health and personal care stores. So all those are opening within the retail trade under phase one.
To your point, I do need a couch because during quarantine, I renovated my basement and now I need furniture.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because you took a sawzall to the couch.
No, that's already done. Is that couch under warranty if it's self-induced hole making?
Sawzall? No, I don't think so. But yeah, so that's under phase one. Phase two, we're looking at professional services, retail, administrative support, real estate, and rental leasing.
What's professional services?
That's what I'm scrolling down to right now.
I go to like Amsterdam when I hear professional services, and I don't think that that's what the state means.
I don't know. You never know. I don't think it says. It doesn't go into the phase two details yet.
This isn't that oily.
No, this is very, very weak, in my professional opinion. So we'll get more details as soon as we enter phase two. There's still no... Is there guidance on when we'll actually be entering into phase two, or is it we'll see how phase one goes? It's not like every 2 weeks or anything.
Well, the original mandate was 14 days between phases, but if you met the metrics for phase two within 14 days, you can jump.
What are the metrics for phase two?
Yes.
Nailed it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not on that panel who's not wearing a mask sitting 5 feet from somebody.
True. After de Blasio just got a haircut. All right, so phase three, not open yet, obviously, because we haven't even met phase two yet. But phase three includes restaurants and food services. And then phase four, which is the final phase, is arts, entertainment, recreation, and education. So, again, go on to New York's website and you can look at all what each phase means and all the subcategories within those phases. But that's just a general guideline on where we're coming up tomorrow and also where we're headed to or what we can look forward to in the future. It's going to help a lot of businesses, man. Opening up and just, even though you can't still go into the mall or whatever, but there could be curbside pickup and all that, it'll just help so much.
Yeah, there was it's kind of sad because there's still businesses closing. I saw a post that a local pizzeria is officially closing its doors on the 24th.
Really?
Yeah, which sucks. But, I mean, it's across the board, man. There's a lot of places that weren't able to handle that hit. So, the ripple effect from this is massive. Mm-hmm. And I understand reopening and, whatever, but it's going to be a long time before businesses are back to where they were.
Yeah.
So, I feel bad for small business owners.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But every time that you feel bad for them, you're thought of as you don't care about the people that are actually dying of the disease, which is far from the truth.
Yeah, I mean, the whole situation sucks. Right. It's not just one-sided where I only care about, I mean, Jesus, I'm not that hard of a Republican. Only care about the business owners. Don't worry about grandma. It's like, okay, dude, like, let's tone it down.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of both. But if grandma's 105 and grandma passes away, God
She's
bless.
lived a good life.
Yeah, lived a good life. God bless. You know what I mean?
What's the age that you would want to live to?
100.
That was really quick.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that before?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to explain, or
sure.
Are you just going to keep people mysteriously thinking?
Dude, if you're 98 years old, wouldn't you just want to get there?
Yeah, sure. But like, if you're 98 years old and you're literally on your way out, you're not going to be like, put me on something. I'm going to make it to 100.
Oh, correct. If I'm dying, I'm dying. And I mean, that's been in my will since I was 18. It's pretty blunt. Don't keep me alive. When I go, I go. I'm very black and white when it comes to death. It's inevitable. It's going to happen anyways. And I don't want to prolong it. Like, just send me home, brother. But yeah, if I'm 98 years old, there's a part of me that's like way too competitive. That's a benchmark, bro. That's a milestone. 100 years old, like, true. You hit that, you just walk around, do whatever you want. You're 100 years old.
Who's going to yell at you at that point?
Yeah, seriously. And I mean, there's comedians that make that joke all the time. When I'm 100, I'm going 100.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to drive my car. And
You're going to steal everything. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Like, I'm just going to rip ones in public and just watch people's faces melt. Like, what are you going to do? Say something? I can't hear you anyways. And if I can, I'll pretend I can't. I'm 100. You know, sit there, eat my soup.
What's the oldest you would you want to be like the first person to make it to 150?
No.
Right?
That's too long.
What's the oldest person right now? 112?
Look it up, dude. We got our phones now.
Oldest?
Probably 112, 113 is my guess. I don't think
That
it
was
would.
my guess. Oldest person
Okay, high speed.
alive.
Guarantee you it's a woman, too.
Kane Tanaka. No, it's a guy.
How old?
Kane Tanaka, the oldest living person is Kane Tanaka of Japan, aged 117 years old and 137 days. The oldest known living man is Robert Waden of the United Kingdom, age 112. So he...
Wait, what?
What? Hello? The oldest known living... That's weird. So I just Googled this. Obviously Wikipedia, so this is super true. But the first one says oldest known living person is Kane Tanaka. And then the next thing says the oldest known living man is Robert Whiten.
What's the dates on the articles?
As of May 18th, 2020. So literally today. Today.
So there's two people that are different ages, but they're both the oldest?
Yeah, because one's the oldest living person and one's the oldest living man.
Oh, I don't care about the man. I just want to know the longest human living.
Yeah, but I don't... Oh, the 100 oldest women have, on average... This is too confusing of an article. This is why I don't read things.
Okay, so our boy in Africa who's 117.
No, boy in Japan.
Oh, he's in Japan.
Yeah.
You know why? They got all that seafood, bro.
Beep. Oh, I thought you
No.
were going to say something a little...
No. They got all that seafood. They got super healthy diets in Japan. You know?
That's true.
Sun's always rising for our boy.
Yeah. Oh my God. 117 though. That's crazy.
Probably looks like an old plum. Sitting there all wrinkly. What do you think?
I'm surprised you think he's sitting. I think he's laying.
No, he's probably sitting up on his porch just laughing at everyone. Been like,
Drinking some Japanese whiskey.
yeah, like, I've shit things older than you. You know what I mean? Like, the dude's... Dude, what a power move. That guy's
Right.
probably living his best life. I'm proud of him.
This shirt I've had since I was 46. It's older than 90% of the population here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
117 years old.
117. I wonder what he eats. Probably whatever he wants.
Yeah. Pizza. Isn't there an article or something that said they asked the oldest or one of the oldest women how she stays alive, and she says, I have a glass of wine every day.
Yeah, there's that. There's Dr. Pepper was also listed once, and then
Is nutrition just a joke?
no. I think it's person to person, but nutrition is still vitally important.
Like, I can't wait for them to interview me when I'm 157 years old. And they're like, Dirk, what's the key to living this long? I'm like, just pizza and whiskey. That's really all that I ever eat.
There's a local woman that actually came out. She was a former mayor, and she said, drink whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so anyways, I think it's whatever your body's accustomed to. If you consistently do the same thing, your body's used to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll adapt to that specific life. But then all of a sudden you just shock it and give it all these healthy foods, then it can either do two things, work out in your favor or not. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Probably going to get slammed by a nutritionist,
Right.
which I'm all about because I want to learn it. But I think that shock of it going in either direction would have an impact on your overall health.
So are you more of a person that wants to eat as healthy as you possibly can or mix it up?
I mix it up, dude.
Because
I can't.
Gina and I did 30 days to healthy living where we just literally ate extremely, extremely healthy food. And after that, when I had a piece of pizza, I died. And I don't ever want to be in that situation where even if I have one slice of pizza, I'm dead. So that's why I keep a well-rounded diet with both pizza, bacon, and healthy food. That way I'm always never feeling terrible. Like, I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, I'm bloated after that piece of pizza. It's like, rookie, I had some for breakfast. Get on my level, you know?
Yes, I understand. Goodness.
But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, nutrition's a joke. Don't at me.
I had yesterday was a cheat day, not a cheat meal day. It was a day, if that makes any sense for those that follow. Because there's two trains of thought. There's people that are like, have a cheat day, eat whatever you want for one day of the week. And then there's other people that say it's a cheat meal during the day once a week that you allow yourself.
No, full day.
It's like, okay, so it was yesterday on Sunday. It was a full day, and it was amazing. So I had brunch, and the brunch consisted of a dozen eggs, about like 12 sausage links, a pack of bacon, and
pack of bacon?
Yep, an entire pack of bacon, and then 8 pieces of French toast and mimosas.
Nice.
So it was split between myself and 3 others, socially distancing, and it was an amazing brunch experience. I had a lot of bacon and sausage. I had
all the bacon and eggs you have.
Yeah, I crushed eggs, and then I had like 4 pieces of French toast because everybody was too full. Weak. After that, we then supported a chain restaurant.
Perfect.
Yeah. Because we had no clue what we wanted, but I wanted something sweet. And then naturally, because I was watching the Greatest Baking Show, I wanted cheesecake. So we got Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, really?
And I got a turkey bacon...
Cheesecake?
No. Oh. Jesus. It was basically a turkey club with avocado and tomato. And then...
You consider that in your cheat day? Dude, that's a healthy meal for me.
Oh, it was.
Oh, okay.
But hold on. And then it was a side of Caesar salad. And it came tossed, not on the side, so it's more unhealthy because I couldn't figure out how much dressing they used, but who cares? With croutons. And from there, I had a Oreo cheesecake slice, and that was incredible, but very, very thick and very filling. And
how many C's?
It was 4 C's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a thick piece.
I couldn't finish it. That thick. And that's me, dude.
Right.
Yeah, it was bad. I was extremely bloated from mimosas and brunch and my dinner. And then I also went to Wegmans. More commonly pronounced Wegmans, but everyone's saying it wrong.
Those are peasants.
Yeah. And I got chocolate milk for the first time in like 7 years.
Yeah. Did it taste just as good as you remember it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Almost better.
Really?
So I had a half gallon of chocolate milk.
There you go.
Not a half gallon. The tall, skinny one. A quart? Yeah, half a quart.
Nailed it.
See, that's the difference between you and I, is because that sounds like a relatively healthy day, according to my standard. Like, you got a turkey club and a salad. That's all I heard. I don't care about the dressing you put on. It's a healthy meal for me.
What's your unhealthy meal?
Pizza, which is literally every other day.
Come on. All right, I believe you.
Well, because so when we get pizza here in the Accurso household, I love my cheese and pepperoni or just cheese. Gina likes Journey. She's like, I want the chicken and spinach pizza, which is good. But then we end up getting 2 pizzas, which means then I have it for the next day. So when we get pizza, it's a 2-day adventure.
Now I want pizza.
Right.
But we're not.
Tell me about
because after this, we're going to edit. We're going to have a healthy chicken Alfredo with what? What does this meal consist of?
So it's a healthy version of chicken Alfredo. I love this meal. This is my favorite meal that we make. It's made with almond milk instead of cream for the Alfredo sauce. And then it's with sun-dried tomatoes and basil with chicken, little salt, pepper, bean noodles, but they still taste very good. Dude, it's a very, very good meal. You're going to like it. It's sick, too.
So for our listeners in the UK, he meant to say tomato and basil. So, anyways.
And we bought them at Wegmans.
Yes, and Wegmans. So are there sides, or is it just that in a bowl?
No, it's just that in a bowl.
So what's for dinner? What's after that?
I know, really. That's normally when I'm like, all right, I'm going to order some pizza. And turn this healthy meal into an unhealthy meal.
I mean, we're going to be done with this.
Meal.
Yeah, we're going to be done with this in 35 minutes. And then we're going to eat that. And then we still have another 3 hours of editing. So it's going to be pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza and Jameson.
Pizza and Jameson. I'm down. I will never turn down pizza and Jameson. I'll tell you that much right now.
This is actually way better neat than I'm used to.
Really? Probably because it's not as... So you can have a neat whiskey that just burns. This doesn't burn. It feels a little watered down to me for some reason. I don't know how long I've had that bottle for, but it feels a little watered down to me.
Dude, what's crazy is we're so... I mean, look at the board, dude. We had full proof 1792. That's 125 proof. Larceny 92 proof. The Four Roses single barrel wasn't too crazy. Yeah. Either was the Greyston Empire.
Salt.
But the amount...
96 proof that was, though. That was almost 100 proof.
Which one? The
The
Empire?
Kristen saw, yeah.
I mean, now we're dropping down to an 80.
Right.
There's still burn. I mean, you can still feel it going down. It's a lower hug, but it's nothing not... I mean, it's really not that bad.
It's crazy how much our palates have changed.
Changed a lot.
I still want to do this, so maybe in a future episode before we get to episode 50, because we have a special whiskey for that. But before we get there, I want to do a blind taste test. Or maybe we'll just put it up as a clip for our subscribers on YouTube and do it like a specialty clip. But Journey can pour us 4 glasses of the whiskey that we have remaining, and you and I have to guess which one it is. I talked about this a couple months ago, and I think it would be a cool exercise because our palates have changed so much, but also our intuition on what is in whiskey changed quite a bit too. So you and I could definitely tell the difference between this and like a rye, Empire rye, whiskey, bourbon. I'd be very interested to see how well we do.
I agree.
Do we even put, well, let's down this quick and then you can put drops in the next one. Because this is 80 proof. I mean, we can basically have this whole bottle today.
Truth. Should we jump into cocktail section before we get too crazy? Just so we can get it out of the way. All right. Drop that beat for the cocktail.
Cocktails.
Yo, my cocktail is so fitting.
Nice.
It's the Bloody Molly.
Nice.
It's Jameson's twist on a Bloody Mary.
Ooh.
1 part Jameson original. Boom. Quarter part of dry sherry. 5 parts tomato juice. 2 dashes of Worcestershire sauce. Crushed it.
Seriously, you don't know how to say that? I thought you were joking.
Half a teaspoon of celery
Say it
salt.
with me. Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce.
There you go. Nailed it.
Nailed it. A half teaspoon of...
Worcestershires.
I got lost. Every time I hear war, I just go back in my flashbacks. So then, half teaspoon of celery salt, 1 twist of black pepper, 2 dashes of Tabasco,
Ooh.
half teaspoon of horseradish sauce, half teaspoon of sugar, garnished with celery, tomato, and prawn. It's a Bloody Mary, just with Jameson. The instructions. You hand blend the Jameson original dry sherry, tomato juice, 2 dashes of Worcester sauce, half teaspoon of celery salt, a twist of black pepper. All the ingredients in a jug or a bowl. So you take all the ingredients, put it in a jug or a bowl, stir it, and drink. And you're probably too hungover to understand what's really happening, and that's why you're having a Bloody Mary. So I have no clue how we're going to make this fit in the cocktail section. But we're gonna crush it.
We don't include directions in the cocktail section.
Just the ingredients.
Just the ingredients. Yeah.
There's a lot of ingredients.
Yeah, I know.
I already made the cocktail post. It's wild.
Nice, nailed it.
What do you got, dude? What do you got for good old Jameson cocktail section?
Jimmy John Jameson Jingleheimer Schmidt. We have a Jameson whiskey Irish lemonade. So we're getting up on some nice weather. You and I already went golfing, which we should probably talk about too. So with this nice weather coming, you can use a refreshing drink. You just downed that like a shot.
It was a little sip.
Chill out, bro.
Dude, it's Jameson.
Good thing you're sleeping here tonight. So for this child's play, for this Irish lemonade, you have 1 part Jameson, 2 parts lemonade. Very clever. 2 parts ginger beer, a little bitters, and then you garnish it with lemon and a fresh mint to garnish. So it's a very refreshing drink.
Refresh.
Refresh. But yeah, so that's your Irish lemonade.
That's what we need on the golf course.
Or lemonade for all of our, I don't know, British people out there. I don't even know what that was.
No, I think that might be too proper.
Oh, okay. Nailed it. But yeah, so Irish lemonade. That's it.
Sick.
We're chilling. So golfing, man. We were finally able to get out and golf. How do you think you did?
What are you talking about? Here's what happened.
Jesus, that's a heavy pour. Holy shit.
It's going to last the night. I'm done after this. I swear.
Yo, okay.
Heavy pour. Thanks, Dad.
Did you put the Jameson bottle up to the camera yet? For the thumbnail?
People know. All right. We went golfing. First drive, atrocious. It went 40 feet. Leaned left. From there, we got to it was the 3rd hole. Suck a banger putt, bro. Sunk it. How far was that putt that I hit?
That had to have been like at least 20 feet.
Yeah.
It was a good putt.
It was a good putt. The only good putt of the day. So after that, I was trying to keep up with you. It kind of turned into a best ball because your drives were just disgusting. You were cranking them 325 all day long in Delaware.
It was a good day.
It was a good day. But then your short game sucked.
My short game was atrocious.
And then I had to help out with my 7-iron.
There you go.
And then I had a couple good pitching wedge hits. 9-iron I did decent with. We're getting there, you know?
So Mike has this amazing theory to his golf game. He has 14 clubs in the bag, like normal, but he uses 4 of them. So you have the driver, which is anything off the tee box.
And I have 2 of them.
Yeah, you have 2 drivers, which I don't understand why. You have 2 drivers, you hit off the tee box. Then anything from tee box to green, 7-iron. I don't care if it's 5 yards. I don't care if it's 170. 7-iron. And then you have a pitch sometimes, and then a putter. That's literally the only clubs that you use. But it's okay because you're good with the 7-iron.
I'm really good with a 7-iron for no reason. No
and
reason
like normally
at all.
you're supposed to gap your clubs, like your 7-iron and your 8-iron. They say I'm pretty sure for golf clubs, each club should be like 12-yard increments. So like if your 7-iron goes 150, your 8-iron should theoretically go like 162. So that's how they do. Your 7-iron goes 5 yards to 187 yards.
Yes.
So you just pull it out and you're like, I'm gonna crush it, dude.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And then I also do really well with a 3-wood.
Oh yeah, you have your 3-wood too.
I do well with a 3-wood because my drives sometimes suck, sometimes are great. And the reason why I have 2 drivers, here's the thing. When you ask about Mike Kelly's golf game, none of it is supposed to make sense. None of it will make sense. You just have to understand that at some point during the day, my one driver will work better than the other. So I'll just stick with that one driver. Options. I don't care about weight. I'll carry it. What's a driver? It's like 3 ounces.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll carry that. Like, who knows? So once we got to this 17th hole, no, it was the 16th.
It was 16, yeah.
16th hole, you made an observation on my swing. Here's what Derek does. I'll tell you what Derek does. Derek hides information from me because he doesn't want me to catch up and be somewhat decent like him. So what he does is he hides the tips and tricks that he observes during my swing. And then when he calls them out, he only waits until there's 2 holes left because then he bribes me to come back where he's like, well, now you figured it out. You got to come back for another 18. So $700 later... My handicap is still 502, but at least now I know where my hand should go on the club or how my hips should move. It's fine. Appreciate you.
All right. Real talk. This is what really happens. Mike's game is so bad, it takes me 16 holes to figure out what's wrong with it.
So I kept I kept slicing left, and then he realized that my right hand was not over the club enough. And then that legitimate minor correction had my ball going straight for like 150 yards. Yeah. So
it's interesting. I am not the best golfer in the entire world. I'll admit it. But I understand the physics and the logistics behind golf
of what should happen.
So I could tell you what you should be doing. It's just that I'm like, well, let me show you how it's done. Shank. And I'm like, nailed it. Can't really base a lot of it off of my game, but I'll tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, your thing was your hand was under the club too much. So your natural tendency when you would come through would be to rotate it, which would then close the club face, which would cause you to top it a little bit. That's all. So we made that minor adjustment, and now we'll remember that next time we go out.
That's it.
With the cameras. So we try to record a few for you guys. But first of all, we got there when it was extremely foggy and you couldn't see shit.
True. Like, so, no joke, you couldn't see further than 100 yards.
So when we were recording, we were trying to zoom in. I was zooming in too fast, so I wasn't getting your full swing. So I was trying to get where the ball landed, which was 2 feet in front of us. So there's a lot that went into it that didn't make it the best video. So from here on out, we'll record and we'll take it seriously and try to provide some content for everybody.
We took it serious. We just suck. And then we got heckled by a bunch of nerds who were walking around the park. Drove me nuts. Don't heckle me during my golf game. Don't make me flip a switch.
True.
It's fine.
True.
So
it was a good time, man. It was fun.
It was a good time. It was nice to get out, walk around. No carts. Rona. So we walked. Rona. But it was good. It was a nice little...
Can't touch the flagpole.
Yeah. No flagpole, 3 o'clock. But it was good. It was nice to get out, walk around, sink some putts, feel like Michael Jordan. No cigars, not yet, because we had to come home to the women.
We'll get there, though.
But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Once she goes on some... Oh, dude, isn't she... She's leaving the country soon, isn't she?
She was supposed to. She was supposed to be in Galapagos last month.
Yeah, but isn't she
And
going
that
to
got
like?
canceled.
Isn't she going to France or something?
She was going to not France, but somewhere else. Then that got rescheduled. So now it's next year. She's going to Italy.
That's right. She's going to Italy.
Yeah.
All right.
So
when she goes to
so many
Italy,
stogies when she's gone.
we're literally gonna bake the garage in cigar smoke. We're just gonna climb bake it.
What's your
open the
favorite
door.
cigar?
Oof.
Woof.
I would say a Cuban, but those are illegal.
Yeah.
Actually,
so not Cuban.
Aren't they not though? Because didn't
They're not
Obama
anymore.
reverse that?
Yeah.
I had a Cuban cigar when I was in Jamaica on a cruise, and it was incredible. I was sitting on the reef. I was tan. I was in great shape. One of the greatest shapes. I've seen many shapes, and I was one of the best.
I prefer circles, but squares are okay.
So, I was on a reef with two of my buddies. We had Cuban cigars on the cruise, and that was the best cigar I've ever had in my life.
Did it make you sick at all?
No.
Have you ever gotten sick from a cigar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just needed to chug water and sit down for a little bit. Got dizzy, bit of a rush, and then I realized I'm not Babe Ruth.
Right.
I'm not gonna smoke a stogie out here. It's not happening. What about you?
I used to smoke a lot of cigars when I was younger. Like, my friend and I always tell this story. My buddy Jared, that wants to be on the podcast eventually too. But we would, when I was back, just turning 21 or whatever, I would go over to his apartment. Or at least that's what I have to say for legal reasons. I went over to his apartment and we would make ourselves some Singapore slings from that movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. We would smoke cigars on his porch. It's a great time. One time we smoked a cigar. Then we're like, we should go get another cigar. So then we smoked a cigar in his car to go get another cigar to come back and smoke it again. So we had 3 cigars in like 3 hours. It was a good time.
How'd you feel?
Oh, I actually felt really good. That was in my prime. Right now, if I did that, I would be done.
I would probably be enjoying the spins and be vomiting everywhere.
Yeah.
I smoke probably a cigar. Oh my god, dude! I can't even say every year. It's so rare.
Yeah, me too.
Because I don't smoke.
Yeah.
But it's like special occasions if somebody's getting married, and of course, there's that guy who shows up with a bunch of cigars for everybody, and he's like, "Oh, this is what we do. We smoke cigars at a wedding." It's
I went to a wedding last year where they had a whiskey and a cigar bar, which was sick. Because you can go up, grab a glass of whiskey, and then a complimentary cigar and just smoke it and drink whiskey on by the water. It was so much fun.
in a suit,
Yeah.
Bro.
It was amazing.
bro.
I was living my best life during that wedding.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's the picture that I used for all of my social media, too. That was from that wedding. Such a good day. It was fun. But yeah, I smoked a cigar last year, but other than that, it had to have been 2 years into my last cigar from there. I'll do it for special occasions, or if my dad and I go golfing, we'll maybe smoke one, but that's it.
We gotta
Very
do it
rare
soon.
now. Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We will.
We used to do stogie runs. We used to work on our cars, do an oil change, and then any other engine work that had to happen because our cars were an absolute disaster. Drive to the res, pick up cheap cigars, go back, have a fire, and smoke a cigar, and then I'd immediately get home the next morning and do all my laundry, and then consistently for like the next 7 hours rinse my mouth out because I was so sick
Right.
of tasting the smoke.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, if you have a beard too, it sticks in the beard for so long. Especially, do you remember when we recorded? The beard was like down here for a little bit.
yeah, dude.
If I smoked a cigar for then, it would still smell because it just sticks there, man. No amount of shampoo can get that out.
It's tough. Smoke is a very, very fine particulate, and it's brutal. You almost got to just go full clean shaven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'm not doing.
No, not at all. It's a lifestyle.
I will never shave my face again.
So August 7th to 9, we're going to be in the woods. You'll be there too.
Nice.
So that's the new date for the boys trip.
The boys' trip.
There's going to be some cigars.
There's going to be some cigars.
Yes.
There's going to be some whiskey too.
Yes. We're going to be in the mountains.
Nice.
We're going to literally start fires, cook meat,
Be men.
drink whiskey.
Throw a football.
Yes, be men. Probably go on hikes. Not get lost because you're surrounded by vets. And then smoke cigars.
I'll fit right in. Guys, I got a bug bite.
Is there a spreadsheet for the amount of wood we need?
Derek, build a fire. Okay, the hypotenuse of 5 and 2 are 1.
If my calculations are correct, it would take 3 axe swings to break this in half.
Pounds per square inch are about 40, so that'll be a great time. Great time.
I'm stoked for that. So August 7th to 9, we will not be recording. which
Oh, this year still or next year?
this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're doing it this year.
Nailed it.
We can socially distance in the middle of nowhere.
We don't need to. We'll still be on phase 1 by then, though, probably.
No. They're predicting right now restaurants middle of June.
Nice.
So, you want to rate this bad boy?
Let's go for it. Welcome back.
Welcome
Commercial
back.
break.
All right.
This will be a perfect spot for sponsors. Once we do get sponsors, it'll be perfect.
We'll get there. Very soon. I mean, we're...
Very soon.
Very soon.
There you go.
We're blinded by the light, bro.
Like the what?
We're blinded by the light.
I was talking more about my speech impediment there. I like the optimism. I was like optimism.
Yes. Borrow my eyes. See my vision.
Yeah, dude, this is very light.
All right. Official review from the Buffalo Happy Hour on the fan favorite Jameson.
Triple distilled Irish whiskey. So, with whiskey, the spelling of whiskey,
The E.
with the E in there, it means that it's not based off of Scottish style whiskey.
It's Irish.
It's Irish.
So, label branding.
It's a classic, bro. It's a classic.
We have to go high on this.
First of all, green bottles, I have a theory, tastes better than anything other than green bottle.
You feel like that about beer, too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
All green bottle beer tastes better. Again, don't at me. I will literally fist fight somebody about this.
Okay.
Because
so,
green bottles make everything taste better.
this is a absolute staple in the industry. Everybody knows the name. Obviously, there's 16 kids.
And all of them are named John Jameson, even the girls.
I'm starting with an A and going up.
If you took the label off, completely took the label off, and you had the green bottle with the red cap, you would know it's Jameson.
There's the seal in the top. I mean, come on.
John Jameson and Sons.
John Jameson and Sons Limited.
Is that what it really says?
JJ and S.
Wow, that was a complete guess on my end.
I'm going A with 4 check marks.
4 check marks. Oh, Professor Wolf would be proud of you. All right, dude, let's do it. A and 4 check marks. Wow.
Nose.
C minus. No, I'm just kidding.
That's not funny.
I knew you'd get offended. F.
Kid took up all the space in the elevator.
He was a riot. We should have him on an episode. All right.
All I'm getting is ethanol.
This is yeah.
Straight alcohol.
B. Honestly,
Yeah, like B.
we've smelled some amazing whiskeys here.
Yeah.
I would say B for this.
Initial taste.
So you're getting some spices to start with. Spices and a little bit of vanilla.
I'm getting vanilla and wood sugars.
But this is the interesting thing. So with this whiskey, you are getting a blast of flavors up front with the spices, vanillas, wood sugars. Then it's literally depleted for the ending of the initial taste and the start of the ending taste, where it literally tastes like it's watered down. And then at the end, you're getting another round of spices, in my opinion. It's not, and I don't know who I'm going to offend saying this, but it's not well-rounded, in my opinion. This is not a very well-rounded whiskey compared to what we've had. Because you're getting a blast in the beginning, it's going away, and then as it's going down, you get another blast. So to me, it's kind of like that's probably why people like this in cocktails, because it adds that little flavor to it, but you need something else in there in order to make this a more well-rounded whiskey.
I give it a two-dimensional hit. Up front, I'm getting vanilla and wood sugar, and that's the initial taste. I'm gonna give this an A. Personally, but vanilla and wood sugars is pretty much all I get.
Agreed. I agree.
Right, so A, vanilla, wood sugar.
Ending note, I'm going to go B+. Just because you get that blandness in the middle, and then at the end you get a little bit of a spice.
I agree.
I agree.
You get any I get a faint pepper, but it's not overpowering like it is to... Where is she? Right there. The double oaked Cask and Crew is very peppery on the back end. This is just like a step down from that. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely getting pepper. Are you getting anything else on the ending note? Because the burn kind of lingers, and then you can feel it through your stomach.
Yeah.
I mean, it travels down, but I'm only going to... I really only pick up a pepper. I can't pick up like specific fruits. I can't pick up really any other vanilla, but it's oily. And I think that's why, because the oil...
You think it's oily?
It is, because it coats so much in my mouth. I can't...
I'm trying to figure out what the mash bill is for this.
Yeah, I was too busy going into the history of the family.
Yeah. Johnson, and Johnson you got over there or whatever.
John Jameson the Fourth.
So, from what I'm reading, to be considered a pot still whiskey, the whiskey must be made from a mash bill of at least 30% malted and unmalted barley.
Yeah, but I'm barely picking up the... I mean, like you...
Barley's a little bit of a bland taste, though. Like, you
Right.
can pick up rye, you can pick up wheat, you can pick up corn. But the malted and unmalted barley is probably what's giving it this subtle middle, which you're not tasting much.
Right, because I mean, it's whiskey.
Right.
But there's really, like, nothing on top. I mean, it's just... It's literally two-dimensional. You get it up front, you get it on the back, and that's it. It's just a bland... Dude, it's just...
It's Jameson.
It's Jameson. It gets
it's
you drunk.
in a tier by itself.
Yep.
But I wouldn't say it's not an A tier for me. It's just in a tier by itself because it's a quality beverage, but it's nothing to... I don't know if I would ever pick up a bottle just to slam.
Yeah, me neither then. It's readily available. Mm-hmm. It's relatively priced. It does the job of it gets you where you want to go fast. And you can put it in virtually anything. Mm-hmm. And because of that, it's lasted since 1780.
Right.
It's...
That's a good point. There aren't any crazy flavors in this, so this could literally go on anything.
Yeah.
There's a couple whiskeys that you can't put in Coke. You can't put in ginger beer, or not ginger beer, but ginger ale or anything.
Yeah.
Because of the flavor profile won't mix very well. This is a very... I don't want to say bland because that sounds bad, but this is a bland flavor where it can go in literally everything.
Yeah. To its credit. So on the ending note, I'm getting pepper, and what else are you getting?
Spice, just like a baking spice or something. And I would probably give this a B+.
I agree. Final rating. Give me the countdown for the final rating.
3, 2, 1. 87. What is it?
I don't know.
88.5.
Sick. You chuckle, I write. All right, here's the thing with Jameson. Regardless of final rating, this whiskey brings so many people together. It is a cultural icon. It is a staple in the industry. And it is one of my personal favorites because this is what I enjoyed in ginger and Coke and ginger ale when I was first being introduced to the whiskey world. This was my gateway drug, and I am so pumped that we finally reviewed it. Mm-hmm. I'm obsessed with Jameson. I always will be. It'll always make me smile. As soon as I hear the name Jameson, I smile, and I think to the family's credit, what else could you ask for? Right. I mean, the legacy of this whiskey is just ridiculous. There's signs everywhere around the world for Jameson. Literally. I've seen it in Ukraine. I've seen it in Greece. It doesn't matter. Jameson is Jameson, and it's everywhere. And it just... Oof.
Yeah.
I'm not getting emotional. I'm just getting emotional.
Yeah. I mean, you're crying a little bit. But so let me ask you this then. Now, knowing what you do and having a more experienced palate, would you... When you're drinking Jameson, would you prefer it now neat or in a cocktail? Knowing what other whiskeys are neat.
In a cocktail. Yeah. That does not mean that I would not have it neat. However, if I had to pick one in preference, I would put it in a cocktail. But...
All right. This one might be a loaded question for you. So, what is the phrase? Kill... Marry. What is it?
Kill, marry, or bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jameson, 3-chord, or Hartman's.
Which 3-chord and which Hartman's?
Hartman's bourbon and 3-chord 12-bar.
Am I neat or cocktail?
Neat.
Everyday drinker or special occasion?
Just answer the question. I don't care. Everyday drinker. Special occasion. Let's raise the bar a little bit. Because everyday drinker means that you can have something next every day. Next day. What? Next day. You can have something. So this is a special occasion. So something that doesn't come around often. What is your go-to out of those 3? You got to keep one, you got to marry one, and you got to kill one. What? I don't know what the phrase is. I'm too old for this.
I'll kill 3-chord. I'll bang Jameson. And I'm going to marry Hartman's.
There you go. Good. I'm the same way, but I'm killing Jameson and banging 3-chord. Sounds weird, but...
Here's why I'm going to kill 3-chord. There's no reason. Never mind. Okay, if I had to give a reason, it was because...
Jameson has a special place in your heart.
No.
Nailed it.
Jameson is versatile. 3-chord is a incredible product. However, Jameson is the safer bet. There's less risk. People know what Jameson is. And Jameson is versatile. So I can... If somebody's, new to the whiskey world, I can make a cocktail with Jameson.
So why would you bang that instead of marry it?
Because an everyday drinker from Hartman's with their current mash bill is something that can be appreciated in a cocktail and neat. For somebody who's a connoisseur, they're not going to want this neat. They're going to want to either experiment or not drink it at all because they know the amount of other products that exist. Look at our wall. So they're going to be like, why would I drink Jameson when I can have A? Mm-hmm. Why would I drink Jameson when I can drink B? So for me, that's my breakdown.
Good. That was a good answer. So speaking of Hartman's, they just barreled their first mash bill that they created on their own.
Which we're a part of, bro.
Bondsman Club.
The Buffalo Happy Hour is in the Bondsman Club of Hartman's, and I'm stoked.
Our name's on a plaque on a barrel in the Hartman's warehouse right now.
I hope Justin likes us as much as we like him because he's stuck with us. He doesn't have a choice.
25 years.
Yeah.
He's stuck with us.
25 years. I hope that first impression was great because, listen, Justin, we're not going anywhere, and we are stoked to show up and drink the fine bourbon that you're producing over at 55 Chicago Street.
It's amazing.
Hell yeah. What do you think, dude? You ready?
Dude. First of all, for what? Ready to end this episode, are you saying?
Not end it, but continue the party off camera.
We are at 68 minutes, exactly. But first of all, before we start that, what do you think of Mr. Eddie Oliver?
Loaded question. I'll wrap it up.
For people who don't know, Ed Oliver, he's a defensive tackle for the Buffalo Bills. Drafted him last year, 9th overall pick. He's a sweetheart. Love the kid. He went to go see Pancho Villa on his deathbed. He's a good kid. Made a mistake. He got arrested for having a unlicensed firearm.
Unlawful possession of a
firearm. And DWI. What are your thoughts?
In Houston, Texas. Towing a dune buggy.
I read that and I'm like, hold on, what?
Ed Oliver, I got a drink first. All right. Ed Oliver fell into one of the biggest contracts of his life, received a ton of money, is extremely down to earth, and an extremely good dude. I don't fault him. It's a mistake. Perfect. Own it. Take the responsibility. Handle it. And move on. Mm-hmm. That's all you can do. It is what it is. It already happened. Can't live in the past. I don't fault him for it. He's what, 22 years old. He's a millionaire from Texas, driving down the road with a beer and a sidearm. If I was a millionaire, I'd be armed too.
Right.
So, is it unlawful? Sure. I mean, that's what he's charged with. Roger that. It is what it is. Again, I feel that every American, which he is, has a right to be armed. It's in the Constitution. Perfect. Have it. Play the game. Do the right thing. Register it. I don't know the Texas laws verbatim. I just know New York's. I don't think this is a knock on his character. I think that it was just a mistake. And, I think that he knows it isn't smart to drink and drive. I think everybody born after 1992 knows that. So, or even 1989. I mean, my sister knows that, and she's 3 years older than I am. You know what I mean? So, it's a mistake. I'm chalking it up as that. I think that he's got the character and integrity to bounce back better than he was before this. Own it, and he's going to move on and have a great season. Mm-hmm. And whatever the league gives him, he'll accept it. And I think that he's got the right front office and head coach to, be a mentor for him through this.
Sean McDermott, people are saying that he's going to rip him a new one. I don't think he's going to.
No.
I don't think that's Sean McDermott. He's going to sit him down and be like, Ed, what happened? What's going on?
Sean McDermott is the kind of guy that going into the conversation is already disappointed in you, and then that has the bigger impact than any disciplinary action ever. And I was the same way with my mentors. I didn't have to get smoked to get the point across. Mm-hmm. Them telling me that they're disappointed in me
hurt more.
It hurt more, and it made way more of an impact than anything that they can do to me physically. Like, I'll push, I'll do whatever, but you being disappointed in me is just like, I'm this big.
Yeah.
So
also, when you compare his actions to what like DeAndre Baker and that other NFL dude did, where they armed robbery or robbed somebody at gunpoint, or whatever that was,
I think there was
looks a little bit smaller than that.
Yeah, I think there was an assault in there. Like, you're not Ed. In my book, in my very small piece of Bill's Mafia, who's only myself, I will tell you that I am fine with it, and I'm looking forward to the season, and I support you.
Just learn from it.
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
It is what it is, man.
Everyone's okay to make some mistakes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Michael, this has been episode 34 of the Buffalo Happy Hour. We are so close to 50, and I'm just getting so excited for it. So if you're with us for the ride, you want to see episode 50, make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Buffalo Happy Hour. We also post basically every single day on our Instagram and our Facebook page at The Buffalo Happy Hour 12. So make sure to go give us a follow on there. Every little bit helps. Share this video with your friends. Leave some comments. We're getting a lot of comments lately, and it's very awesome to see that our audience is also engaged with us. I saw somebody commented on one of our posts asking where they can find premium coffee. It's like, this is so cool that this is happening, that we can help Buffalo businesses even more with our small platform. We can just continue to help them. So be a part of this with us. Go give us a follow on all those platforms. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and we will be here next week to provide you with more content with something else. We don't even know what we're going to drink next week.
No, we don't.
But we'll figure it out.
That's right.
Mike, episode 34.
Derek, I will see you next week.
We're out.